Now let's talk about another set of operators, bitwise operators. We have bitwise AND, bitwise OR, bitwise exclusive OR. We also call this XOR. So this is AND, bitwise AND. This is bitwise OR. This is XOR or bitwise exclusive OR. Then we have left shift, then we have right shift, and then we have one's complement. Okay, so one by one we will see that what are these operators. So why do we call this bitwise operators? And we have also seen that we had logical operator and OR. See, there is a difference between these operators. This is double ampersand and this is single ampersand. So make sure that you don't get confused. Okay, so as the name suggests, bitwise. So what happens in bitwise operator is that the operation is done on the binary representation of the operand. So in this case of bitwise AND, so let's say I have X as 10 and Y as 25. So whatever operation I do, whatever operator I use for X and Y, first X and Y will be converted to, it will be done on the binary representation, or the operation will happen bit by bit. So let's try to understand this. So if I do the binary representation of X, let's say X is an integer and let's say integer takes 8 bytes. So let's say X is a short integer, short int, and it takes 8 bits. So I convert this into binary representation. So for 10, my binary representation is going to be, and for Y it is going to be, okay, for 10 this is my binary representation, and for 25 this is my binary representation. So these operators will work on this binary representation bit by bit. So what happens, let's see what happens for each of these operators. So if I write X and Y, what happens in case of X and Y is that the resultant of X and Y goes like this. So bit by bit we go bit by bit. So if we are comparing these two operators, so what happens is that if either of them is 0, my resultant will be 0, and if both of them is 1, then only my resultant is going to be 1. So what will I do? I will do the AND between all the bits. So this gives me 0, this gives me 0, this gives me 0, this gives me 1, this gives me 0, 0, 0 and 0. So this will be my resultant. So this is going to be my resultant. So if you do X and Y, your resultant is going to be, this is 2 to the power 3, 8. So what happens? This operation is done on binary representation of X and Y, and whatever binary representation you get as the result, it is converted into decimal and returned to you. Okay, so now let's see what happens in case of bitwise OR. In case of bitwise OR, if either of the bit is 1, the resultant is going to be having 1 as that bit. So if again I write this, so if I perform X or Y, so what do I get? This will give me 1, this is giving me 1, this will give me 0, this 1 and 1, this gives me 1, 1. Now if I convert this to decimal, what do I get? 4 plus 2 to the power 3 plus 0 plus 2 to the power 1 plus 2 to the power 0. This gives me 27. So my resultant for X or Y will be 27. Now what happens in case of XOR is, in case of XOR, if either of the bit is 1, then the resultant bit is 1. Again repeat, only if either of the bit is 1, then the resultant is 1. If both the bit are 0, then the resultant bit is 0, and if both the bits are 1, then also resultant bit is 1. Again, in this case, let's try to get x XOR y. So in this case, 0 1 gives me 1, 1 0 gives me 1, 0 0 gives me 0, 1 1. In case of bitwise OR, this 1 1 will give me 1, but in case of XOR or bit exclusive OR, this gives me 0. So I get this is 0, this gives me 1, and rest is 0. So what do you get as result? This is the binary string that you get as result. So we had seen that this was the resultant of the exclusive OR. Let's see what will be the decimal value of this. The decimal value for this is going to be 19. So x XOR y gives me 19 for x equal to 10 and y equal to 25. Now another two operators that we had was left shift and right shift. Let's see what are they. So we have left shift and right shift. So first, what is the syntax for using these two operators? For left shift, I put x left shift 2, which means I want to shift the bits by 2. This could be any number. This could be any number. Obviously, I am using 2 here because I want to shift the bits on the left side by 2, and by this we mean that I want to shift the bits on the right side by 2. So what happens if you shift the bits by 2 on the left side? So what happens that bits get shifted on the left side and the last 2 bits are filled with 0. So you can think of this as a window, and whatever goes out of the window gets out of the window obviously. So we have, let's shift this by 2. So this 2 gets out of the window. We have 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. So this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth place. Now these 2 places are empty since I have shifted the bits by 2. So I'll fill this with 0. Okay, this is the left shift. Similarly, opposite thing happens in the right shift. Everything is shifted to the right by 2 and the first 2 places or first n places are filled with 0. So in this case, if I shift this to the right by 0, we get these 2 are out, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, and these 2 places are empty, so they are filled with 0 as well. So here what we have done, we had value as 19. Let's say this was 19. This was the binary representation of 19, and what we have done, we have, and here we have shifted it to the left, and here we have shifted it to the right. Okay, now let's see that what are the values in this case. What are the decimal values? So here we have 2 to the power 6 plus 2 to the power 3 plus 2 square. This gives me value as 76. This gives me value as 2 to the power 2, which is 4. Okay, so one thing to note here in this case is that, as you can see, that this left shift give me the value that is multiplied by 4. So 19 into 4 is 76. So whenever we shift the values, so let's say I shifted by n position, then the resultant is always going to be multiplied by 2 to the power n. So what is happening here? In this case of shifting, left shifting, whatever value we are doing the left shifting, the resultant value gets multiplied by 2 to the power n, where n is the number of shifts. So next time whenever you get this left shift question, you don't have to do this whole thing. You can simply multiply the number with 2 to the power n. So in our case, our number was 19 and our n was 2. So it was 19 into 4, which is 76. So that was about left shift and right shift. Now we come at the last operator, which is ones complement, which is this, or ones complement. In ones complement, we convert each bit that is 1 to 0 and each 0 bit to 1. So if I take x equal to 10 again, so if I complement x, so this is the syntax for x complement. This is the syntax for x ones complement. We also call this negation operator. So in this case, if we do this thing of x complement. What we do? We convert 1 to 0 and 0 to 1. So what we get as result? 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 1. So this will be my resultant binary. And if we convert this into decimal, we get 245. So this is 1's complement. Now we have seen whatever bitwise operators that we have seen till now is binary, unary, or what. So for bitwise AND we need 2 operands. So this is binary. Similarly in this case we need 2 operands. For XOR also we need 2 operands. For left and right shift also we need 2 operands. One is the operand we want to shift, and second operand is the number of shifts that we want to do. This 1's complement is the unary operator. So we are performing this on a single element. So this is a 1's complement. This bitwise operators again are quite important. We will see as we go further. Now let's go on to our another set of operators. Now let's discuss the last in the set of operators, which is a ternary operator. We will discuss if else when we go on to further session, but as of now try to understand that we have a if statement in which we have a condition, and we say that if this condition is true, let's say print Ram, and I say that if this condition is true, print Ram, else print Sita. Okay, so if this is the condition, we will do this, else we will do this. So this is similarly. So using ternary operator, or what we call as conditional expression, we can reduce this to a single line. So what we do is that we write this as condition print Ram print Sita. Okay, so what is this? That if condition is true, so whatever condition we have written here, we write it here, and if this condition is true, or if this condition gives the value 1, then print Ram gets executed. So what are we using here? Question mark and colon. So this question mark is just after the condition, and this colon is between the two statements that we want to execute. So we say that if this condition is true, print Ram, and if this is false, print Sita. This is called conditional expression. And as we can see that this is a ternary operator. We need 3 operands for this particular expression to work. So this was conditional expression. So let's take an example. So we have x equal to 10, y equal to 0. So I write an expression here that if x is greater than y, then if x is greater than y, what I do is that I increment x, else if x is not greater than y, I increment y. So what happens is that here we have x as 10 and y as 0. So is 10 greater than 0? Yes. So x plus plus or increment operator on x will work, and the value of x will be incremented to 11. In this case, if it would have been otherwise, if x would have been 0 and y would have been 10, then this condition would have given me false value. So false stands for 0. Whenever I am saying true, that means 1, and false means 0. So this gives me 0 or false. So y plus plus gets executed and y gets incremented. So this is how conditional expressions work. Now we have seen these operators. These are the basic operators. There are few other operators as well. We will discuss about them as we go on to discuss further concepts, but these are the operators that you should be aware of. And as we have talked few moments back about the precedence of the operators and the associativity. So as I said before, that in an expression we have several operands and operators. like x divided by y plus 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 z plus plus. So here we have this operator, and this operator. So how do I know that whether I do this operation first, or whether I have to do y plus z, or I have to first do x mod y? So this is decided by the precedence of the operator plus the associativity. The associativity is generally from left to right like this, but there are cases when we have right associativity as well.